Session 39 of New Horizons on an off night. Um, and we'll begin with our usual recap, but from Ethan this time.
Okay. So recap from Brother Nick's perspective. He said, after Saoirse's strange vision, we set out to check on our many new neighbors on Ariscor Coupiettes. Our initial plan was to split up to check on the tower and robots at the Forum. This plan was quickly dashed when the tower feigned not knowing us, while also making it clear its mysterious master was there. We played along and left, though I felt something strange as we did. Nero claims to have caught a glimpse of this mystery woman. The robots at the Forum were more welcoming. They were unaware of the psychic chicanery that occurred, but did report a solar flare occurring around the same time. The robots also asked us to determine what befell of the Praetor's descendants, as well as any other Mandate officials. Cade was able to glean some limited information from a working terminal in the guest terminal in the Forum. We shared our findings with the Gakari colony, or at least we gave it to Cora, who hopefully keeps her word to pass it on. She was concerned that the solar flares are what caused the recent loss of control over the exploring wolves. Cora also agreed to encourage the Queen to steer clear of the tower and the robot. Tom expressed his desire to stay with Boris and continue mending his relationship with the Queen. Victor also surprised us by wanting to stay. After some difficult goodbyes, we prepared to take off for Tabuk.
Very good, very thorough. All right, so that is, in fact, where we left off. Goodbyes had been said, and you were all gearing up to leave the planet. Do we have any more, any last points of order before takeoff?
Nope.
Don't think so.
Okay. With Java at the helm and Cade at the comm station. I suppose Saoirse overseeing them both.
Yeah.
You can begin your takeoff, which, following your previous MO, you maintain a very low altitude as you try to leave the hemisphere under which the before encountered station seems to preside, before eventually ascending and entering orbit. Of course, you do all of this under dampened emissions and carefully modulated power usage so that any prying eyes are far less likely to catch sight of you. So we'll do our usual series of hide and seek rolls. So um, let me see here. I believe the way we've done it is I just have I have Robert roll.
Yeah.
Do you have those notes? I'm trying to remember where I put those notes. If I put
It's
them on the ship,
programmed, but I don't remember the ship's total bonus. The ship sheet appears to have, let's see. Yeah, we didn't write it in to the ship's notes. We really should just write this on.
yeah, I thought I had done that somewhere, but I'll I'll put it there.
It was like plus 6 or 7.
Yeah, I
I'm trying to remember exactly what it was.
yeah.
We only
Um,
trot it out every now and then.
yeah, I remember having the same thought last time we did this. That, hey, I should make a note.
Yeah.
Just I actually might have, if I skim my session notes, I might have jotted it down, but I think I usually end up deciding it's quicker to just add it up again than to try to go find where I might have put it. Let's see.
I mean,
So
if we jot it down, I will definitely add it
yeah,
to the ship
do
notes
you want
when I
to
get a
put
second.
it? Okay, if you want to get the ship notes ready, I will
Yep.
read off to you. So for hiding, the prudence is going to get a, I believe, a +4 from the ship, um, from the ship fittings, then a, let's see, a +3 for being a. Oh, wait, no, no, no. It's not a fighter. It's a frigate class. Hello.
Yeah, it's frigate.
+2. So that's a +6. Okay. Yeah. So it
Okay,
gets a +6
I'm
to
writing
the
that
hiding.
broken out.
Okay.
Hey, my memory is better than I expected.
Very
Alright,
nice.
modifier is 6, 2d6. Not too bad, but that's a poor roll, actually. That's just a
It
bunch
is
of bonuses.
it's huge bonuses. Let's
Yeah.
see. So that's gonna be the hiding roll. Let me just see here what I need to have. You know what I need to do? I need to group these at some point by like common observers, because I've got them organized by factions right now, but then I have to skim through and find where I put that faction.
Oh,
Um,
that makes
if I
sense.
if I just put them, put a little grouping with the ones that typically are trying to find you. Well, shoot, where did I put that? Hmm. Ah, there it is. Okay. Ah. Okay, and it's got. Okay. So I'll tell you, you failed that roll. If you'd like to do it again.
Reroll.
Uh-oh.
I had a feeling it was a failure, but it's a little bit
That is
better.
not a failure.
That's a lot
uh,
better on 2d6.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's the difference between rolling a nat 4 and a nat 10.
yeah.
Oh, that would be why it's
So.
6 points different.
Yeah. Math. Ooh. What do you know?
All right, and go ahead and give me your seeking roll, which the prudence gets.
Seeking.
Yes.
Okay.
Or scanning. Um, and in your case, you get a. Let's see. You get +1 for being a frigate and +2 for having survey sensor array.
Okay, so +3 net. Boom.
Nice.
It's okay. Bonuses weren't quite as pretty.
Mhm. Okay. Um, so as you enter, uh, well, I should say, as you're exiting the atmosphere and entering a higher orbit, you are able to pick up a brief blip on the other side of the planet, pretty much, where the alien station sits still in geostationary orbit over the city, where you expected it to be.
Okay, so it's still where we expected.
Hmm.
Good to know.
And it gives no indication of having detected you.
Good. That was the entire goal.
All right.
Kid had
Now,
one job.
I believe there was a plan to head starward and do some surveying.
Yep.
And was there a plan to look for Mara Prime?
I think so. Am I remembering that correctly, folks?
Yeah, the name came up and it stoked some curiosity with the you think he sorts when it did.
Stop trying to hide and pretend you're not a thinky sort, Dex.
The Dinky Swords. Strike again.
No, I
You're
think
just playing the not thinky character.
I stopped paying attention because Nero was fidgeting.
See what we have to work with, chat.
He's dedicated to the RP, okay?
Method actor.
Yep, method acting.
Well,
So yeah, I guess we probably hunt for the prime planet first and then kind of loop back to the sun because I'm assuming the prime planet is closer than we're currently at.
yes, it is. The the orbit details, the last known coordinates, are definitely closer to the star. And let's see here. Now, your your scanners, and particularly the survey sensor array that you've got fitted, are by all means powerful enough to do some general, solar system mapping and stuff from basically anywhere within the system. Uh, it's just that the further you are from your intended subject, both it both take tends to take more time, is maybe a little bit more difficult, and tends to require a bit more power. And this is not something you'll be able to do while running your emissions dampers, or at least that that sort of active scanning is going to probably interfere with your attempts to hide. Um, though you do have passive sensors. You just take a -2 for using those.
Yeah, so I guess what you're saying is we have to swoop in there pretty close on passive, or we have to fire up the sensors.
Yeah, I mean and well, what I was going to say is, I mean, you could just do a flyby and try to, essentially get in visual range. But what I was trying to say is that you could use the sensors from basically anywhere. It's just going to be a lower difficulty the closer you are. And I may have beat around the bush a little bit, but Also, unless you use passive sensors and take a penalty, you'll be broadcasting your location pretty noisily.
Oh, I figured. What do y'all think? Do we go loud and proud?
How quickly would we be able to beat feet if we don't like what happens when we go loud and proud?
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh wait,
So,
a better question would be how quickly could we bust thrust?
Wow.
Had to get the rhyme in there.
hmm.
Man, Dex, you're gonna surprise me and bust out some slam poetry or something next time.
my
He only
special,
does it when Taco Bell has open mic nights.
Yep, that's true.
my specialty are haiku.
Yeah, so it would take you 9.5 hours to get from wherever you are in you know inside the solar system to get to the edge of the system region. Um, and that's assuming you're not even trying to hide at that point.
I guess what I'm asking more is, if we, what would be the consequences, or the course of action, not consequences, the course of action, um, if we do an open loud scan and then decide that we don't want to interact with whatever we wake up, would it be some kind of would there be any kind of like uh let me back up. Would it just be okay? We drive away. We go to the edge of the system and start drilling, or would there be something else to it?
Are you?
If I understand what you're asking, it depends entirely upon how close you are to what you find and what you find.
Okay.
I was
um,
gonna say, aren't you trying to preempt the actual role of discovery to know the reaction of what we're discovering?
Not not really. I'm certainly not trying to get
Okay.
Ben to reveal the secrets of the universe to us.
he's trying to ask what you're gonna find. That stinky cheater.
um, I I'm just trying to see if there's any like reason that we wouldn't that going loud would be an extra bad idea.
Well, I guess the question is really the station's out of range, so it can't shoot us if we go loud and proud, correct?
Yeah, I mean um, you'll want to at least leave the planet for sure. And you've
Oh,
got a
definitely.
and so you're gonna be. You've got about 9.5 hours until you get closer. I guess I was just um, so unless you're concerned about finding something in the vicinity of Mara Prime that is, both alive and unfriendly, then you wouldn't necessarily be worried about going loud.
Okay. I think that gives us a little more information, honestly. Why don't we get ourselves away from the planet? That way, if there is
That's what I
something,
would suggest.
yeah, if there
Yeah.
is something unfriendly that says, "Hey, I don't like somebody sending signals my way. I'm gonna go investigate it," they don't immediately descend on the planet and start wreaking havoc,
Yeah.
and then go loud.
Okay.
There's plenty of reasons not to, but none of them particularly compelling.
Okay. So it sounds like you want to head on to. So I will also say, um, maybe this will help clarify why I I've said all of that. Mara Prime and the sun are going to be basically in two different regions. Um, so you could scan one from the other location. It's just going to be more difficult and maybe take more time than if you just went to the specific locations um, and did it. The downside there just being that you spend more time flying because you got to go to one location, do your scan, and then fly to the other one and do your scan. Um,
Well, that's what
but
trimming the
you got
course is for. How good is our pilot?
you do
He's
have a
the
pretty good
best
pilot.
in the galaxy.
Yeah.
Yeah, say Java is probably pretty confident about his skills in that regard.
Muscle memory just takes over.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
let's go to each one. Which one do we want to scan first, the sun or the planet? In fiction, which one's closer?
Planet.
Okay.
All right. So Java uh, punches in the coordinates for the last known location of Mara Prime. And let's see. Mhm. Where is the... Okay. Oh, and doing some ship-aided calculations for revolutions around the star and so on. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Trimming the course. Okay. Pilot check at difficulty 9. So, save you guys. So yeah, here's the thing. Trimming the course in system, especially at the point you guys are at, it's only going to save you an hour and a half
Hmm.
each
Eh.
time. But it could potentially double your time if you fail.
What is Java's role? I mean, if the player were here, he'd know.
Oh, you mean what's his what's his
E-
modifier to the roll?
yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like,
No,
man,
I'm not
that's
asking
just
you to
asking in
predict.
advance. Well, have him roll and let's see if we want to use it or not.
Dang.
Man,
I don't know where Ben got all these
trying to,
terrible ideas about me as a player.
trying to
Danielle, you've
trigger
been
the
telling him
GM
the things I've been saying to you?
Oh, good.
here.
He's
All
been
right.
probably looking at my Discord messages once I'm asleep.
Let me check what his.
All those secrets.
Okay, that's only for spike drill related checks. All right. So he has a +3 right now.
That seems low for him, actually.
Actually, okay. Let me do this. I'm gonna say he has a +4. He's got a bunch of unspent skill points.
Oh.
Um, he, he and I need to talk some more. Basically, I've been dithering about this unique gift thing because I feel like the idea that each time we've tweaked it a little bit, it still just feels wrong, and like it's gonna be useless for him. So anyway, but I didn't realize until a couple sessions ago that he was just not spending his skill points because he was waiting to figure out which focus he was going to take and what skills it was going to be, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I'm confident he would at least put pilot to level 2 at some
Oh.
point. So we'll say he has +4 to piloting.
Okay, so and he's only got 2 dice, 2d6, or does he have 3?
Just the 2.
Okay, so it would have to roll a 5 or higher on those dice to make that check.
Mhm. He is an absolute genius when it comes to navigating metadimensional space. Real space, he's pretty good, but just not galaxy-wide genius level.
Okay. You know what? 9.5 hours is probably fine.
Sounds reasonable to me. All right. Hearing no other input, we'll just skip the trimming course
Yeah.
interspace. So, all thrusters full. Zips off to the last suspected location of Mara Prime.
What?
And we can pretty much fast forward. You all have a nice little day of chilling on the ship. While you scoot along, and with some of your usual time killers to help pass the time. Next thing you know, you're pulling up in the vicinity of the coordinates Java had punched in, and uh, as you kind of expected by the missing data, um, there is no sign of Mara Prime nearby, but you can set to doing some scanning.
Yeah, Kincaid, see if he can extrapolate where Mara Prime would have drifted.
Yeah, he could do that. So he was the the numbers he was working with was kind of a model given by the computer. Um, but yeah, it definitely over 500 something years, it certainly could have been off a bit. Could have been any number of events that affected that outcome.
Yeah, give his own spin on the math rather than just trusting what the robots gave him.
hmm Um, yeah, how is he with how is he with astronomy?
Probably okay enough just with the math
Okay.
part of it, but
Go ahead and give me a no check then.
okay.
The intelligence, of course, is fine.
Okay.
All right. So he takes a look over the calculations. Asks Prudence to break it down for him a little bit so he can check all the math, dot the i's, cross the t's, and it looks like a pretty accurate estimate. He could suppose that there could have been you know something going on with the star that could some fluctuations that could have changed the orbit just slightly. So he could expand his search just a little bit to account for that theory, but otherwise it
Okay.
looks good to him.
Hmm.
So he can set about given those observations with the sensor array. Make a
Yeah.
program check. Okay, nice. So with that, um, let's see. Are you? I should have asked before. Were you going loud with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
Yep. We
So
are currently operating loud.
so yeah, you actually would have gotten um another few points. All right, so that's actually about as yeah, that's the that's the highest possible success I was planning for. All right. So, given the fidelity of your scanners and your proximity to your search zone, you think you can pretty pretty carefully cover the entirety of the area you've kind of mapped out in about 8 hours.
Oh wow, the scanning is taking 8 hours.
So
Yeah.
that's to
Oh,
cover all of
damn.
the
I guess it's a whole orbit or whatever.
it's yeah, it's a
Pretty close.
pretty large area. It's also allowing for some deviation in either direction,
Yeah.
given Cade's suspicions that the calculations might not have been quite on point. Who just dropped? Oh, Danielle just dropped.
I'm not
Yep.
protesting. I'm just kind of wanting to get a frame of where Narrow's at.
Lord.
Yeah, Nero is probably gonna have a rough time with this. Hey there, babe.
Sorry
Were you
about
able to?
that.
Were you having some audio trouble?
I
Okay.
just reopened my app. Fine.
Okay. Just wanted to double check before we moved on that you were in the loop. So, yeah. So it's going to be a good bit of scanning, but Cade knows. He hasn't done a lot of the scale of sensor work before, but he knows he knows enough from talking to people who have that this is actually going pretty quickly, and he's doing very well at this for a relative newcomer. But it's all just math anyway, and besides he's got really good equipment to work with, so he's cruising along.
Or steal his success and fame and blame it on the equipment.
Yeah, no, he's eliminating little sectors of space from the list like clockwork. But yeah, so for the next 8 hours, Cade is going to be mostly glued to the panels with little breaks here and there, perhaps. But everyone else is going to be twiddling thumbs.
Yep.
I just want to make sure everyone's had a chance to see Narrow's predicament before I move on to her solution.
That's okay. She'll survive if she falls down.
Certainly would be the first time.
Right?
Great. I love picturing the like she's basically playing a game with the doors. One of those things that kids do when they're bored. They just invent a game with whatever random thing is at hand.
It adds a random maintenance task, straighten kitchenette doors, and assigns Brother Nick. But
Alrighty then. Yeah, at some point during this, um, Ahmed would actually go seeking out Saoirse and try to get a moment alone with her.
Oh, okay.
Would she be wanting to stay on the bridge overseeing the scanning, or would she want?
Um, She'd probably tell them to page her when the scanning's done, or if they find, anything before then.
Okay.
Cade would
Yeah.
give a mock salute to that and just be right back at it.
She'd roll her eyes and she'd walk out.
Yeah, and should say for flavor anyway, it wouldn't hurt for somebody to, quote unquote, help Cade or keep him company. But Ahmed seems a little bit reticent to say what he's got to say, but works up the courage to ask Saoirse about when they're next planning to return to Tabuk. And quickly, nervously follows that up with just a reminder that she did say that they would get him back to his family, and he's hopeful that by now uh, enough time has passed that he could go and go and find his family, be with them again, wherever Breckenridge has spirited them off to.
Yeah. Out of character real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Um when when were we planning on returning to Tabuk? Like, had we talked about that?
think
I
as soon
remember us
as
discussing leaving. Did we set a destination?
yeah, I think Tabuk was gonna be our destination on leaving the planet here, but then we got sidetracked with getting the data from the sun and looking for Mars Prime. So my answer to that would be as soon as we satisfy our scanning interests here. Could be this session.
And I'm sorry, my audio was breaking up. Can you repeat that, Dex?
Yeah, my thought was that we were going to go to Tabuk as soon as we left this planet, the
Mm-hmm.
name of which I've forgotten. Um, but we got distracted with scanning for Mars Prime and scanning for data from the sun. So we should be back en route to Tabuk as soon as we finish scanning.
Okay.
Shouldn't be too long because it sounds like Cade has basically found another mystery as far as Mars Prime is concerned. Something that will probably need more data to properly solve. And I can't imagine that scanning the sun is going to uh, find us some kind of hidden base or something else to explore. So that's another simple get data, go.
Yeah. Okay. So she would let him know. Um, we're we're gonna be going there as soon as we can. We just need to finish this scan here first. I do intend to keep my promise to you.
Oh, yeah, of course. I didn't mean to suggest otherwise. I just, uh, it's a relief. I just hadn't, well, our planning meetings had gone a little sideways recently, and I just, wanted to be sure, but, didn't want to make a big fuss either. So thanks, Captain. Just, you all have done well. Um, I just appreciate not being turned over and being given the chance to prove myself. And he looks her right in the eyes at this point and says very solemnly, I will never go anywhere near those Sons of Glories again if I have anything to do with it. I don't know where Breckenridge has sent my family, but I hope it's as far from Tabuk as possible. Thank you. And looking nervous again, he walks past her and heads back to his room.
Okay. She'll she'll nod, and after he heads back to his room in a hurry, she's gonna kind of think about it for a second, and she's just kind of stunned when she stops and thinks about how long he's actually been with them now. How he must be missing his family, but how grateful she is that he actually has hung through it all, basically. Um, so she's also started trying to think of how she is going to be trying to track down his family when they get there. So, right, that's it, I think.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah, the answer to that question is currently busy looking for a planet that's missing.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Um, and yeah, so Gade continues scanning. If there's nothing else to interject with, we can go ahead and summarize the results of that time. Narrows uh, clanging and stirring up trouble.
Narrow is trouble.
You say
It's her middle
clanging?
name. Hmm.
Yep. Yeah. Something is going on in the kitchenette.
Oh,
Oh wait, is she trying to make bangers?
Nope.
Yeah, let's see. Anybody close enough to the kitchenette would probably have heard a bit of a clang and clatter,
that would
and
be fair, sir. She would be close to the kitchen at that point.
maybe maybe even a quiet splash.
Oh my. Saoirse's gonna wander over to the kitchenette.
I think Roll20 must have kicked you out.
Oh yeah, it looks like it did. Um, Dex was typing in Roll20 chat about what Nero was up to in the kitchenette. Um, do you want to describe what she sees when she opens the door, Nero?
Uh, sure. Saoirse comes around and I guess the storage room door slides open because it wouldn't think Nero's there. Nero's just a big tall plant standing on a kitchenette.
Oh
Um,
my word.
she Nero has climbed up on the kitchenette, which of course she's been told numerous times not to do. Um,
Mhm.
and
Rude.
even worse, she has turned a pot upside down, inadvertently splashing its stinky vegetable boiling contents vegetable boiling water, off to
It's
the side and on her boot, and is standing on top of that on the kitchenette just so that she's tall enough without actually climbing the kitchenette to look over the top of it. She is now reaching for something at the very, very far back. She's got like her she's doing that little reaching into a hole thing, except it's between the ceiling and the top of the kitchenette as she's straining to reach something way far back in the corner.
Saoirse is just gonna kind of lean against the door frame and cross her arms and wait to see how long it takes Nero to notice her.
Nero shouts victoriously when she gets whatever it is she's been reaching for, and drags a long lost we'll say this one's a hose box with one little
I
wrapped
knew it.
package.
I knew it. Snacks.
One little wrapped snack pack in there.
Saoirse's just gonna speak up at that point. She's gonna say, "And here I thought you were looking for my whiskey stash.
Nero jumps. How jumping sheepdogs? What? Let's see if she
Is that where you're hiding your snack cakes?"
yeah, I didn't think she'd she slips off the pot but catches herself on the side of the kitchenette. Good thing someone bolted it in. She stares down at Saoirse. What?
Snack cakes, is that all you were looking for?
Scrambles down, still catching her breath from scaring the sheepdog out of her.
I didn't know she was part sheepdog. That's helpful.
That is apparently the first. I think that's actually the first time anybody's
Makes
heard
sense.
Nero come close to cursing, and it was jumping sheepdog.
I would have put her closer to a golden retriever, but okay.
No. That's what she said. Oh, jumping sheepdogs.
I know.
Okay.
I heard. I'm just making the joke.
It went over her head. She is climbed down from the kitchenette. She's clutching the snack to her chest. Yes? I'm bored.
Hello, board. I'm Captain. How can I help you?
Okay,
Ooh.
Dad.
Saoirse has a face splitting grin on her face at this point.
And I'm worried about Boris.
I was wondering when this would happen.
Is he gonna be okay?
I really couldn't tell you.
That didn't look like much down there. And he's gonna be in the same room as Victor. He snores.
Ah,
Loud.
that's probably the biggest thing she's going to have to face. Snoring. Not the, radioactive planet, but the snoring. That'll get you. He's gonna be fine, Nero.
gives that thoughtful, like pondering, eyes half cast to the ground look. It, I liked it better when he was with Yarala.
Aye. I felt the same.
And he said the aliens, the lobster puppies, the queen can lose control of them.
Well, they seem to be wandering farther away from the Queen, in the opposite direction, so I don't think you have much to worry about. Boris and Victor and Tom are all smart.
I'm worried about Tom too.
Who?
Tom.
Oh, Tom. Sorry. I'm worried as well. I don't entirely trust Cora.
You neither.
I think we still do. And honestly, I don't think we could do anything to her without talking to Tom first.
Why don't you trust her either?
Well, if you ever meet an intelligent woman, you can't really trust her as much as you'd like.
Nero opens her mouth to say something and closes it, and then those lips part in their classic narrow parted lips pose.
Hmm.
Well,
That is a pattern I had not noticed.
What pattern?
The whole intelligent women being untrustworthy thing.
Well, don't worry, I noticed it.
Mhm.
You noticed it for him, huh?
Hmm. So,
So why are you so dumb then?
she'll grin at that. It's preferable.
Nero's uh unwrapping her ho-hos and takes one out and offers it over to Saoirse.
Thanks. Is this better than the rice cake?
No.
Mm, I may, I'd rather you enjoy it.
It's got more sugar.
Mm, I'd rather you enjoy it.
She she has a very slight crafty grin, little shift of the eyes, and shoves it in her mouth. Okay. What were you cooking this morning? It smells so bad.
I wasn't cooking anything this morning, thank you.
Oh no, is this Brother Nick's religious incense stuff?
Um, maybe you need to ask someone else. I'm not entirely sure.
Nuh-uh. You didn't
I
see me
honestly
here.
thought, well, I honestly thought you'd been trying to cook. I had a few questions.
That?
Well, I wasn't exactly sure you'd ever met a vegetable before, but
Let the record show that instead of burning incense, Brother Nick steams broccoli. according to Nero, I should say.
Nero tilts her head. I was a farmer.
I do forget that quite often.
I know vegetables taste awful. Okay,
Cough.
let's go before Brother Nick finds us. She sets the now empty pan of vegetable water upright and remagnetizes it to the kitchenette.
Mm.
As
Several hours later, someone else enters the kitchenette.
Yeah, I don't think
Oh.
Nero cleans off her boot print.
Oh boy. Well, we'll leave that mystery to be solved here shortly. Let's go ahead and get a report on Cade's scanning. So, he concludes his search, having checked all the area indicated by the computer's estimates and his own slight modifications to that formula. And he has found no planet that would match Mara Prime. What he has found is quite a widespread smattering of asteroids that
Okay.
some of which have maintained what looks like a similar orbit to what Mara Prime would have taken, and
Oh
taking
boy.
the larger picture, it looks like a few of them are a bit closer than there's not a proper asteroid belt around, so the finding that many in such proximity gives a pretty clear hint as to their origin.
Okay. Um. Well, I guess he will page Saoirse and say, "Survey's done. If anybody wants to know the results."
Saoirse will make sure she's asked Nero to clean up the spilled vegetable water before heading to the bridge.
Yeah, Nero said she'll come back and do it later.
Saoirse stares at her for a long moment. Are you actually going to come back and do it later?
Yes.
All right, then. And Saoirse will turn and go.
Ethan, I
Well,
assume that.
Captain,
Oh,
go
well,
ahead.
just real quick clarification for Ethan. I assume this is like a couple hours later, Ethan, when we were doing the scanning and stuff.
Oh, when the scanning's completed, and I guess that was a passing thought. He'd been up there helping Cade.
Okay.
So he's gonna go check in on it at some future point when he can break free.
Okay. That's what I figured. The timing will be, of course, perfect.
Yep. So when Saoirse reaches the bridge, Cade will half turn in his seat and say, "Well, Captain, I think we've found the first planet." And you'll just point to the now highlighted on his screen asteroid cluster. I'm assuming it would be.
Yeah, it's kind of zoomed out a bit. Um, they're fairly spread, but yeah, they're in a loose grouping that he can also show. I'm imagining a kind of a uh, like a circle where the planet might have been, and then you can see how they're loosely scattered around that central spot.
Yeah. So he'll just point it out, highlight it, and say, I can't say how, but pretty sure this is it.
Well, that's disappointing.
Yep.
What planets are closest by?
It'll pull up his chart and what planet is closest by, boss? Or
So yeah,
GM.
the other planetary bodies in the system are not not inhabitable by normal standards, and haven't shown any indication of being populated. And there was no record, at least in what Cade briefly looked through, uh, that indicated any other populated planets in the system.
Yeah. So I don't really see any that are close enough by. I don't think it was a collision. I think the planet disintegrated.
Come again.
Well, it's a working theory, so I could be wrong, but I think the planet fell apart maybe during the scream, or perhaps a massive solar flare exploded from the sun and destroyed it. I can't be sure, but that's
That's
my
fair.
guess.
Fair guesses. All right. Well, thank you for the scan. I appreciate getting the results when you could get them to me. I suppose now we need to head on to Tabuk.
I suppose we should scan the star before we go. It shouldn't take too long, I don't think.
Sarah shall look at the star.
Maybe it'll give us more information on how to resist the radiation.
Among other things.
That's
I'm wondering if what I saw. She's gonna look around the room real quick. Is it just her and Cade?
Mhm.
Brother Nick's been in there.
Mm.
Okay,
I think
Brother Nick.
after their realization, he's been in prayer for the planet.
She's going to look at Cade. Does Brother Nick like close his eyes or do anything while he's praying? Like, would
Yeah,
it
I
be
guess kneeling,
it would be
head
obvious
down.
that he's in prayer? Is what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Um, she'll lower her voice respectfully and then turn to Cade and just say, when we were last talking with Cora, I noticed that there was a moment where I couldn't see her telepathy like I can most of the time.
Hmm.
But then I could again. And I'm worried that she may have also developed some sort of metasionic capability. And now I'm wondering if it has anything to do with that star and what I saw. And what that could mean for Tom and the other Gikari on Eruskor Kupiets.
Well, I think out of all of them, Tom would be the most trustworthy if he, I suppose, gained new abilities like that. We don't really know Cora. But yeah,
From
I
what I
don't.
can tell of Cora, she's intelligent and she's resourceful. And she seems determined to survive. And honestly, after what we know she's been put through, I can't blame her for any of that.
Yeah.
From what we know of the Queen, I'm not entirely sure I'd want her to be my queen either. And her suggestion of replacing the Queen, it makes sense if it isn't but a little harsh.
Yeah.
I just don't know how much to trust her. Because I don't know how far she's willing to go.
Well, the other problem would be if we told the Queen. The Queen doesn't seem to be the type to tolerate nearly anything, and I would guess she needs Cora. At least temporarily.
I honestly think the Gikari's best bet for a profitable future is with Tom and Cora. But I suppose only time will tell. Maybe Brother Nick can pray for that while he's at it. Well, go ahead and scan this blasted star and let me know when you're done with that, and then we can get on.
As you
I'll
wish.
make sure Java's ready to hop back into the pilot seat. Poor Ahmed. He must be feeling useless at this point.
He might be. I think he would be glad to know that we have a replacement for him so that he could go home and be with his family.
Aye, he spoke to me about that.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, I'm hopeful that you can help us find out what's happened to his family when we get back to Tabuk so that
Sure.
we can keep our promise.
Sure.
She'll just nod, not entirely sure where to go from there, and go, all right, I'll be in my quarters.
I'll let you know if anything changes.
Appreciate it.
And he will instruct Java to lead them towards, or to pilot them towards the planet, not lead them. Or away from the planet towards the sun.
All right.
Yep.
He'll give Cade like a little mock salute and get to it. All right. Um, Mhm. All right, so away you go, and it's going to be several more hours of flight. Uh, in here somewhere, there's going to be another period of rest, which get everyone another system strain and their level and hit points back.
Yay!
Oh, and can you adjust that on my character sheet?
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
Did that for Java as well.
Okay.
All right, and me. Oh, I'm trying to keep up with it over here too.
What has Nero been doing?
Sounds like not cleaning up that vegetable mess.
Well, I think if I'm reading the scene right, she has when she finally did go back to clean it up, she found Brother Nick praying over the leftovers.
Oh, he was in the cabin.
Okay,
He
then
was there.
they did not meet. So then yeah, I thought that with that line of roleplay there or the text there that that was him, after all this, after the cabin talk, going to the kitchenette.
Oh
With
no, so he's not there yet.
okay, all right, I'll do a quick little retconning.
Although I guess yeah, he could head that way.
We'll just say that
Since it
the
sounds like you heard or he gave his explanation, I'm guessing you dipped. Shortly, yeah.
what do you mean dipped?
It sounded like earlier you were saying that Nair, when she saw Brother Nick on the bridge, was turning to leave.
Yeah, I don't think Nara would have gone to the bridge with Ahmed and Java both piloting. The bridge isn't really a good place for her. So unless she gets called there for some, any various reason, then she doesn't usually go there.
Well, her two options for learning how to pilot are in there, so.
Yeah, she's honestly fine not knowing the parts of it that make her feel bad about her, education.
Gotcha.
That might be something that others notice is that she hasn't been seeking out those piloting lessons.
Hmm.
All right. So some 9.5 hours later, uh, Java sends a little notification to everyone that you've arrived um, in the closest safe orbit around the sun.
Okay. Cade begins his scan.
And in this case, he's confident it will take much less time since he's already got an idea of what to look for and knows exactly where to look. Um,
Ah,
so go ahead and give
oh,
me
hey, it's right there.
one more program check. Yeah. can't miss it.
Yeah.
In fact, the in any of the ship's viewports have dialed their tinting way up to filter out the extra light.
Ethan.
But
You all right there?
Here.
Oh boy. All right. So, Cade runs a full spectrum analysis and so on and so forth. Blah blah blah. Insert technical terms on the sun, and uh, is able to he's able to get a, a, a s- a vague idea of what's different about the sun, but gets a lot of data that frankly goes over his head and is going to require some pretty in-depth study by someone who understands more about the composition of various types of stars and their processes.
Sounds like
um,
we need to find an astrophysicist, guys.
yeah.
We see.
Do go ahead and give me a no check from Cade, because he has enough knowledge that he might be able to suss out one or two things.
Show us that college education you use drugs for.
All right, that's a partial success.
Sounds about like what we expected.
I mean, though, I guess he doesn't have to re-roll back.
Yeah, he would. It's
Oh,
been a long time since
okay.
the last time he used it.
May as well use it then, right?
Yeah.
Though it's unlikely I'll beat that. That was a decently high roll.
Okay.
Yeah, nah.
True. All right. So,
He tried.
what
Yup.
he is able to tell, he doesn't exactly. There's one thing in particular that comes back in the s- the spectrum uh, scan of the star that he remembers from his physics classes does not belong in the makeup of a star in general. Um, he's
Interesting.
not entirely sure what it is, but it definitely wasn't part of the usual make, makeup.
Mm. Okay.
Um,
Well, I guess he knows what to earmark for later study.
but yeah, otherwise he is able to see that the star is emitting as he would have suspected maybe, but kind of has confirmation that it is consistently emitting higher levels of almost every type of radiation that a star typically would, which is a major contributing factor to the problems in the sector or in the system that you know, forcing everyone to take their medications. Um,
Yeah.
and he's able to pick up um, kind of some after effects, almost like aftershocks of a recent solar flare. It, it's too small to really. It's you can tell uh, it's been 24 hours or more before because it's almost completely dissipated. But he's able to confirm that there was a recent one, and yeah, he has quite a good bit of data to take to someone who has more expert knowledge.
Okie dokie. He'll page the captain and say, I think we have what we need. We can depart when everybody's ready.
Was
All
that
right.
page as in like shipwide or just to the captain?
I mean, I guess that could be shipwide, but
Okay.
I guess you would do it shipwide.
Um, by the way, are you guys still going loud at this point, or are you gonna start dampening emissions again?
I think we should dampen emissions again. We were scanning loudly, but I think we need to sneak.
Okay.
All
Well,
right, go ahead.
to start the journey off as pleasant as possible, Nero jumps on the comms and same shipwide again and says, "We're there. We're at Tabuka already. Thank goodness."
No, Nero, we're ready to leave for Taboo.
Long moment of
Sorry
silence.
to burst your bubble.
We haven't even left yet.
No, but hopefully next time we can have better rad suits and better anti-rads so we don't.
There's a click
It's a
midway through.
poison. Yeah, that figures. And he says that like audibly, like yeah. That yeah. Then cuts it off himself. I think we do want Java to trim the course though, because that really helps with the narrow problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me see here. Mhm. Yeah, so it'll be a while. Let's see. It'll take. Oh well, let me roll for. You're talking about the
Yeah,
intra-region travel.
yeah, intra-region, not like getting to the outskirts.
All right then, let's take a stab at this pilot check here.
I'll laugh if he rolls a 6.
Yeah, if he does, we'll blame it on the GM.
Ooh.
All right, nice.
Ow.
He nails the trimming, which brings it down from. See, what would that be? About 19 hours to 16 hours.
Pretty good.
Okay.
Nero busies herself doing security and maintenance sweeps. She's by the end of the 16 hours, she's probably done like 5 or 6.
Hmm. Alrighty. Yeah, let's see. Everybody go ahead and take another. Um, let's see. I think by the time we do another drill, let's go ahead and take one more day's worth of rest here. But first, give me physical saving throws.
Physical saving throws. Oh.
Yeah.
Suspicious.
Oh, that is a second radiation saving throw Nara's failed. Not in a row, but still.
All right. So
Yay,
Nero
Kate
does
didn't fail.
Nero does not recover system strain. In fact, she gains 1. And does not recover hit points, though I think the point is moot for her.
Yeah, the system strain kind of too. Any other effects that she's feeling?
No, just didn't feel as well rested as she feels like she should. Has maybe a funny taste in her mouth, similar to the anti-rads.
Okay. Unless you're really itching to move us along, there is something that Nero does during this drill. Then.
Okay.
It's probably shortly. It's the first time that she wakes up after feeling more afflicted by the radiation. Um, as we all know, she generally wakes up before everyone else except for Brother Nick, and I think they're kind of a toss-up. Um, and she goes to the kitchenette and makes coffee.
Oh no.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
It's gonna be
I
good.
love the reactions.
Mm,
Oh yeah, this will be good.
okay. So let's see here.
Narrow internal thoughts. It's just black dirt in water. How hard can it be?
Oh boy. All right. Let's see. I don't know if you have a luck save on your sheet, but
I do.
yeah, go ahead and give me one of those. Okay. So Nero
This is not
finishes.
gonna go well.
She finishes brewing coffee, uninterrupted.
Okay. All right. Um, I think I was gonna ask who the happy one is. I think she makes it strong because she's really trying to go by color here. And
It's just the darker the better.
yeah, it doesn't
Oh
look
no.
the same as when she's seen other people make it, so she keeps adding more grinds and boiling them.
This coffee pours and it's opaque.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh my. Um.
She gets on the ship calm. Coffee's ready. Takes it.
Oh, she says it on the ship's comm. Okay.
Uh-huh. And takes it out to the galley.
Alrighty then.
Um.
um.
Well, I feel like
Momentarily
Cade
later.
probably would have been sleeping and not listening to the comms, so I don't think he would know.
Okay.
Um, so shortly after that, uh, Java comes s- storming practically out from the cockpit. You know, does that just that quick step into the gallery, into the galley, stops in his tracks, just looking at Narrow with has she got the pot or she's just holding a mug?
She's got the pot and she has it on one of. I'm sure that the future tech we've got like a pot warmer. You know, the kind that won't necessarily break a cafe brewer thing or coffee pot.
Okay.
You can tell I drink coffee.
Yeah. Yeah, Nero knows exactly what she was doing. So Java he stops in the doorway and just stares at her, stares at the pot, and various emotions are playing across his face.
She pours a mug as he's staring. Looks up at him. What?
Let's see. Okay.
Ow.
Succeeds on his mental save. He goes to take the pot. Let, let me see that.
She lets him have it.
He holds it up about eye level and then kind of up to the light, squinting at it. Then he kind of hesitantly brings it close and takes a whiff, wafts it from the pot, and then just grimaces. Just no. And he stalks over through the door towards the
I
kitchenette,
feel,
pot in hand,
I
and
kind of feel like Cade would intercept him before he gets there to take the pot and pour himself a cup.
he
Be like wandering in.
Oh
he like
no, it's a
he kind of
sleepy Cade.
he kind of
Yeah.
he sort of stiff arms Cade, and he's like, "Look, Cade, no, it's not worth it.
What's wrong with it?
What?
I made coffee.
Just hold on." Cade, go sit down and finish waking up. And
Nero passes the mug that she had filled over to Cade.
um and
He'll shrug and like take a taste.
uh,
and, and I'm pretty sure it does not go well. I imagine he's like gagging a bit.
Physical saving through.
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, Java is he's you hear the stomping of his boots on the decking, into the swoosh of the door, and you just hear this like loud splashing and angry mutters from the kitchenette.
Nero standing over here in the galley, arms spread, mouth agape. What?
Well, Nero, did you measure how much grounds you put in it?
Yeah,
How much?
I poured it once.
Uh,
Brother
yeah.
Nick wanders in at this point. So I heard you made coffee?
Yes.
It will just grimace and slide the mug across. Look at it with the expression of, it's your life.
He'll give it a look and then a dubious sniff and say, "Oh, Narrow.
It looks the same as when you make it. He looks over at Cade.
Well, there's a difference if you're brewing like espresso or like what you're doing.
Yes, I did it express. Turn the heat up.
No. Narrow, this
I'm
is like
afraid
if you
this.
did half a kata backwards.
That would be awesome.
Uh,
Think about how hard that is.
well, I always thought it was kind of hard to mess up coffee, but I appreciate the thought.
The low, angry muttering coming faintly from the kitchenette area. It's occasionally punctuated by sharper, louder words, uh, some of which include coffee and grounds everywhere. Abomination.
Almost certainly, yes. Narrow
And
doesn't so much roll her eyes as roll her entire head. Oh, I'm so bored I can taste it. This metal clinging in my mouth.
Saoirse's been kind of watching the coffee situation from afar. Um, and she says, Nero, I think you're so bored the rest of us can taste it as well. You could have just asked.
Then I wouldn't have made coffee.
No, I mean, I could have gotten you a hamster wheel or something.
You were asleep.
I know, and then the smell of coffee slapped me awake, only to find this, and I'm a bit confused. I almost think I would have preferred you waking me up. You know what? No, I take it back.
Fine, take a hamster wheel.
Saoirse's gonna try and mimic that moving rock climbing wall, actually, that they saw in
Ooh.
the tower.
wow.
An infinity rock climbing wall.
Hmm. Give me a telekinesis skill check.
All right, 1 second. You may want to roll that.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting. Sorry, wife. Let's see here. Let's see. We'll use that. Oh, nice. You got a 14.
Nice.
All right. So, I'm gonna say she is able to get something pretty close on first attempt. And 'cause it follows a similar principle to the hamster wheel. It's just put some extra texture on the outside of it, and Yeah, she's able to get it done.
Okay. Nero leaves the room of coffee failure to go and exhaust herself on the hamster wall.
Sounds about right.
Does Saoirse try the floating mug? Well,
Sure.
not mug, not floating, but the mug that's been floated around.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brave woman.
I think it's more reflex than bravery.
Oh no.
Mm.
Just when handed a mug. Search at a certain time of day will found its contents.
Oh boy, rip.
With mugs
Yeah.
like these, there would be no coffee truce.
Yeah. The the volume and the anger coming out of the kitchenette seem to have died down somewhat by now. Smell of brewing coffee wafts down the hall.
All right. That was my coffee interjection.
Hmm.
Oh my word, Ethan. I just looked at out of character chat.
Oh no.
A lot of good stuff in there.
When did you start reviewing out of character?
Oh, she just got the custom meme you posted.
Yeah. Is
All
that
right.
basically, I mean, that meme is basically how Java would view it.
Yep. Although I sort of think we would call it the Prudence Bride.
Oh
Oh my
no.
Yes.
They did talk about getting married and getting matching tattoos.
No, my word.
Yeah, just not like to each other. Yeah, no.
Oh my word. I'm actually gonna be, well, never mind. I won't say that. So anyway, here's Hamster Wall. Oh
Oh, do we have a picture of it?
man. No.
No, just that line. Horribly misquoted.
Yep.
Oh,
So
sorry. I guess I'm not following. Here's hamster. Oh boy.
so
Anyway, were you gonna say something, or are you?
yeah. Yes, I was. Saoirse is going to try and talk to Kate and brother Nick about what they want to plan to do. What they plan to do once they are back on back on Tabuk, like once they land. Where do we want to land?
That is a good question. Should we come in here and be quiet, sneaky.
basically.
Yeah. So Cato mentioned that he wants to do a request for Java, which is to search for any information that could hint about who he is. That Java's requested this. Cade figured he'd help him out with it. That he also planned to check in on Bruce and their shuttle since it had been a while. As well as touch base with his father uh, and see what they can do for Ahmed. So that's his list of priorities.
No, we're gonna have to start a list.
Yep.
Okay. So we said
I feel
check
like
up
at this
on-
point, Saoirse would just take Brother Nick making lists in stride.
Yep. Brother Nix takes the minutes.
making a list. Checking it.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Gonna find out who's naughty or nice. Brother Nick is coming to town.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay, so we said check up on Bruce and your dad. See where
Yeah. So
family.
Bruce. Yeah.
What else was there?
I literally just said it all. It's out of my mind already.
Yeah, we were freeform
Yeah.
thinking.
So check on Bruce. Check about Ahmed's family with his dad. Oh, do a background check on Java at his request. I think that's all I got.
Make sure we aren't wanted terrorists.
Yes.
I can give us new identities if we need them.
It'd be nice to use that focus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had I had everything prepared that we left town for like 20 sessions. It's fine. It's fine. It'll still be handy.
Oh, we had to check up on the art shop.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And our colorful
And-
NPCs.
Yes.
Back in contact with Nafia, if I can remember how to spell her name. And
Yeah.
Nero's boyfriend.
That's
Mm-hmm.
Kareem. Nafia was the like resistance leader type person.
Yeah. Checking up on the news. Were we bringing them any supplies?
I kind of feel like we had stuff from when we left Urala behind. Checking the Prudence's sheet. Says we have 5 units of medical supplies.
That's just
Oh,
what
we
we had
still
bought from
probably
trade.
have that drug flask, but our characters aren't going to want to trade that.
Yeah. No, we didn't have any supplies for Tabuk. We had supplies that we were given to deliver to Urala.
Yeah, so
You've
and
got,
the tattoos. Wanted to find out about the
I don't remember if anybody mentioned it already, but there's the Janata with Bruce on it.
Right.
Yep, I did. We did also want to check the Imperial Archives for mandate references and family tree records. We wanted to find out more about the tattoos, where and how they're bestowed. All I can think of.
Yeah, that's all I got for now. Guess we can work that list into a nice lettered point by point plan.
Yeah.
We gotta stop spoiling Ben, honestly.
Yeah, I think this goes against the rules in Chapter 2 of How to Train Your GM.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Hey, having thrown notes about what you guys are thinking about has saved me more than once. But don't worry. You guys still do plenty of throwing me for a loop, and
Wrench.
exactly. You still have plenty of wrenches in the mix.
Hey, we like Albuquerque. I'm not going to spoil the reference. If you don't get it, you don't get it. Sorry, pal. But that's an old one.
I say I'm just gonna be silent.
I get the reference. I don't know where it's from though, but I do get the reference.
Okay, fine. I guess I'll
Oh yeah,
spoil some of
me
it.
too. I get the reference. I just don't know where it's from.
Yeah.
It's Bugs Bunny taking a left turn at Albuquerque and winding up at the wrong place.
That's right.
Or missed a left turn at Albuquerque and wound up at the wrong place. It's in multiple skits.
Yeah.
It's an oldie.
I did watch lots of Bugs Bunny.
Didn't we all? I know I did.
I wouldn't have thought it'd be on as much as you guys were growing up.
Oh no, it was on the reruns all the time. Looney Tunes.
Huh.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
All right. Let's see here.
I mean, I
Then.
know you view yourself as old guard, Dex, but you're not that old guard.
Well, I mean, it's just funny because like I do remember watching it through a certain span, from kid to well teenager, probably even some while I was a teenager, and I wouldn't think like there's 5 to 10 years between us, or more I think, um,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't think that it would still be rerunning at that point.
They've rerun for a long time.
Yeah, and I guess that's kind of the thing I need to realize is it was reruns when I was watching it.
Yeah. I was gonna say.
Like Tiny Toons was the new thing when I was growing up. Tiny Toons? I think so.
Yeah, it probably was.
Anyways,
Cartoon history with
Anyways.
Dex.
yep.
Yeah. All right. So, you guys think you're ready to re-enter real space in Tabuk? Oh, let me. I'm assuming.
Sure.
I'm frantically taking notes and checking notes here. It's been a fun session for that.
I bet. We've been all over the place.
And though I was like I was ready. I don't know if for some reason I did not necessarily expect you guys to get all the way back to debut this session. Though I'm impressed. As I was going through the list as you guys were calling it out, I was like, okay, I actually am prepared for most of these. But there were just a couple things I was checking, and then I got distracted from paying attention to the map and where you guys are going right now. Okay, underscore Kupietz to Tabuk. Yeah, 1 hex. Cool. So, turning the courses +2. So, yeah, you guys are still easily under the.
That is totally the relationship I see between Brother Nick and Nero. It's
Sports.
awesome.
Is this a kissing book? Oh, that is well done. Ethan, you are about to earn yourself the place of official meme maker for New Horizons.
He already has that.
yeah.
Yeah,
He was
he's
already
had that like
he was already the de facto meme maker, just making it official. Um, all right, so trimming was obviously successful. Let's see. Um, double checking when you trim for those you um, why am I not easily finding this is another one of those that's written somewhere that I wouldn't expect it, isn't it? Dex, do you remember off the top of your head what happens interstellar?
um. No. Sorry.
Okay, that's all right. Ah,
For
um.
the
But
time wise,
I got it
for
here.
trimming the course, yeah. There it is. Okay,
You
increasing
found it.
effective
Okay. Good.
drive rating by 1.
I thought that's all it was, and then
Cool. Okay.
doubles if you fail. Right.
With the doubling if you fail is the intra-system travel, like Java did earlier. Um, with spike drills, it's
Oh,
just
right. It's just
adds to the
you fail.
difficulty, so
Right.
you have a greater risk of failure. But in his case, being the boss that he is, Starfarer, he didn't have to
yep.
worry about that. He's still succeeding. Let's see. Two, yeah, 1 level higher. Okay, cool. Yeah, so he can go up to 7, which is cool. So 1 hex, 20 hours, 30 minutes. So 10 hours and change. All right. I feel like there's got to be a better way of tracking the time than what I'm doing, but maybe I'm just slow because my brain is tired. Let me just, I'll do this roughly for now because it doesn't have to be exact right now. Um, yeah, that's hilarious. You guys end up traveling. Your spike drill from Orusko Kupiets to Tabuk ends up taking about the same amount of time it took you to fly, flying loud between Mara Prime and Sun. Ain't that something?
Assume Nero has completely recovered from the radiation by now.
Let's see. So you guys get. Let's see.
I think it's technically been 3. One for searching for the planet, one for going to the sun, and one for getting out of the system.
So I think, well, I don't think you're gonna get one for going out of the system just because not enough more time has passed yet.
Okay, I was just guessing from what I remember of counting it.
Let's see. Um. Okay, so I'm looking here, so it's gonna be 1, 2. Yeah, 1 rest, 2 rest. So roughly 7 a.m. ish, interstellar standard time. You come roaring back into real space in the system of Tabuk. This is
Cool.
not quite 48 hours after you left Arizkor Kupiets. So that's a considerably quicker pace covering time than we have for a while now. While you are all recovering from your whiplash, you are hailed by one of 2 ships that is awaiting you at the entry point from Arizkor Kupiets to Tabuk.
Huh. Interesting.
And they are both transmitting Tabukan transponders. Tabukan
course.
Navy transponders, I should specify.
Cade will page Ahmed uh, and ask, was there an authentication code they were supposed to give on return?
He replies there was, but it's almost certainly compromised.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was figuring too.
What size are the ships that are hailing us?
Both frigate class.
Okay.
So they're just opening a hail, no specific instructions?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, just saying, "Hail, unknown ship," and then silence. No, they are they're hailing you, instructing you to power down your engines and submit to be boarded.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh, is that what Cade replies?
I would like to. Don't get me wrong. I would like to. I wish there was a way we could have snuck into the system and just avoided this stuff.
Yeah, so just by way of quick reminder, the with the way that ships come and go, arrivals into system are very easy to prepare for and keep watch for.
Yeah.
It's the exits that are it's easy to sneak out to any random unguarded point on the rim of the system.
Yeah. At least for us players, the problem I see is that these people were waiting at a previously unknown jump point. This is like government only knowledge. So
Yeah.
I don't see that as a good thing. Do we heave two and then well I'm pretty confident we could escape these guys. We do have a drive 5.
Yeah.
How are our weapons compared to a frigate?
Oh, we have only anti fighter weapons.
Oh, I thought
Sure
we
about
had
that?
some kind of blaster
Well,
thing.
okay, well it says flak in their battery, and I think of flak as fighters. Sorry,
Hmm.
that might be a little World War II movie of me, but
It is specialized for dealing with fighters, but you can use it against other ships of frigate class just as well.
Oh yeah, I guess that is only 2d6 damage. Though.
Well,
It just has limited armor penetration, so it's not a punch up in ship class kind of weapon.
right. The important thing about the flak emitter battery is it has sufficient armor piercing to tackle ships of our size.
Yeah, so I don't think we want to wrestle with the.
Aww.
yeah, I'm betting they're better armed than we are.
Well, Ben, can we get more information than just frigate? Can we tell if they're patrol boat, corvette?
You could do a scan.
Would it take any would it like alert them or take any time?
It would not take long. It's something that could be done just in a not unreasonable amount of time, though very well might if you take too much time you'll probably get hailed again. Um, as long as you don't do anything overtly counter to the instructions you've been given, you'll probably be okay. I'd say you could definitely do. Uh, you could definitely ask one question of the scans uh, without arousing any suspicion.
Then I say we give them a good scan and figure out what
That's what I was looking for.
design the ship is like.
would that actually even count as a question, Ben? Just for the ship hull type, obvious weaponry and damage. Like, are you going by the book or are you changing that?
Let's see. I guess okay. Whole type. Oh, okay. I guess I was thinking. I was thinking that class is what you could easily determine, but no, whole type being easily determined would then tell you that these are free merchants.
Oh, guys.
What?
These are pirates.
Oh,
they
Saoirse.
they might be, but
Saoirse
Seriously?
almost wants them to board at this point
it's
because it would get Narrow something to do.
it's true. Yeah, I don't
Wait,
know.
we're thinking they're pirates?
I don't jump straight to them being pirates. I just think that they're in ships that really aren't capable of standing up to us, either as a boarding party or in ship combat.
Hmm.
So, in in the spirit of uh, that information listed there, obvious weaponry and damage and registered ID code. Um, yeah, so you would also be able to see that they are both equipped with fractal impact charges.
Ooh, that's bad news. Haven't read about those recently, but I'm betting that's as bad as it sounds.
It's basically the same as what we've got. Main difference being that they take ammo to fire.
Hmm.
It would be bad to get hit by them, yes. I mean, we still only have a few hit points on the ship.
Yeah.
And no armor and yeah.
Yeah, and all that.
Uh-huh. It's still not a combat ship, but it's a much it is not as pitiful as a combat ship as a standard free merchant. Then again, neither are theirs.
Mm.
A default free merchant would be like, haha, no, give us your ships or die.
Now, how did they announce themselves again?
They didn't identify themselves explicitly.
Oh,
They just they basically just hailed you, identifying you as uh, y- the prudence, which you're um, y- you've got the I guess your transponder, if I'm remembering correctly, um, it's basically the kind of the cover identity of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Makes it seem like a relatively innocuous cargo ship.
We do have that Q ship out full plating, don't we?
Hmm.
Oh,
You do indeed.
we look like easy targets for pirates.
we
Well, maybe
do.
you think, challenge them? At least ask them to identify themselves.
That would be fun.
I think go for it.
I mean, Cade will page Brother Nick to the bridge and say, these people are challenging us. You want to do the honors?
Yeah, so you'd be willing to hop on comms. Say, do we even know the ship's name from what we've been able to see, Ben?
Oh, the ones you're dealing
Mm-hmm.
with. Yeah, let's see. Um, yeah, the the one that hailed you would be the Light of Solar, the
Mm.
very pretentious sounding name of the ship, and by the code that you're scanning, it is apparently registered as a Tabukan Navy ship.
Seriously?
Yes, seriously.
It
Uh,
it kind of makes sense to put low key ships out in a low key
Mhm.
area.
yeah, I guess this is a backwater place to be patrolling.
Um, if well, no.
Keep in mind they could have Q ship cladding also.
Mm-hmm.
Unlikely, but possible.
So yeah, I guess Brother Nick will hop on comms and say, please, please identify yourselves. These are dangerous times, and we prefer not to allow unknown people onto our ship.
The response comes pretty quickly. Prudence, I will repeat my order to stand down and prepare to be boarded. As you can clearly see for yourselves, this is the Light of Solara, Tabukan Navy frigate, and I am its captain, Amari Salam.
Can we ask Ahmed what he knows about this?
Yeah, you can get him in on the bridge. Is there anything specific you want to ask him, or just
Does he know
like
if this is
is this
common
legit?
for? Yeah, is
Yeah.
this legit? Is this a common raider tactic? Like all sorts of different things.
Let's see. So on the point of common raider tactic, he would kind of give a shrug and say that he doesn't know. He's not very familiar with raiding or piracy tactics, though he would be surprised if there were pirates operating in Tabuk itself. He hadn't really heard of that happening in a while, though he would allow that the tunnel snakes had been getting bolder in recent months. So he just kind of shrugs. But then, as far as if this seems normal or standard for Tabukan practice, um, he says, "Yeah, if we were a known suspected ship, they'd want to try to take us in without having that evolving into a firefight. Uh, if they're Navy frigates, we'll have full contingents of Marines, whatever they can field. Uh,
Mm.
prob- do we know what they're fitted with? These are built for boarding actions, or if these are whoops, sorry, didn't mean to click that.
Oh, did Ben start blasting?
Ben start blasting. Yeah.
Whoopsie, there goes my death laser again. Sorry, guys. Um, Anywho, where was I? Oh yeah, just that. Yeah, he's asking if we know what they're kitted out with.
Hmm.
Alright. That would be time for us to do some scans.
Yep. Kid will
Yeah,
fire
runs
up a full scan, full power.
Oh, not even using passive.
So,
Well,
so the page 113 has kind of the recommended. I don't know that we've had much occasion to do that before, but the way to find out extra information about other ships is you basically just you ask a question and you get to make a skill check to see if you can get that from the scanner, um, and you can essentially keep going. It's similar to the hacking thing where it gets a little harder
yeah.
the more stuff you keep asking about the same.
Well, in that case, I guess our first real question about it is like, are there any additional armaments past what you previously described to us?
Okay. Um, I think that's a reasonable question. You can go ahead and make a program int skill check against a DC 8. All right. Even though these are not technically weapons, I believe the boarding tubes that they both are equipped with would fit
Oh.
that definition.
All right. Well, Kid will definitely share that bit and say, looks like these are designed for boarding action, so we would probably be overrun quickly.
Saoirse will just ask Nero at that point. Nero, how bored are you about now?
I'm ready.
That's kind of my thought now. I think we
She's
reel
just
him in.
gonna look over at the rest of the crew and say, I say we let Nero do the greeting.
Yeah,
Okay.
Brother Nick would add in. Kay, do you think you could jam their comm so they can't call out for help?
Let's wait
Yeah, I think.
till they come on board.
Yeah.
Yes. We greet them at the door, keep them from calling for help, and we may be in possession of a third ship before the day's out.
Third or fourth ship. They've got 2 ships out there.
Yeah. All right. Well, Cade will coordinate with Java to kind of set the ship into low power mode, like hot standby. And
Now, one of the things they requested was that your engines be powered down
yeah,
to
so we have
prepare
emissions
for.
dampers. So I feel like unless they're going to be looking for it, we can probably go low enough that we don't have to cold start the engine. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
That's all I'm thinking.
Okay, got you.
Like, just give us an edge in bolting if we have to.
Mhm.
Yeah, or spoof it some way.
Yeah. So,
Interesting thing.
you
When in
know,
doubt, just say spoof.
yeah, exactly. So, like, Kid will coordinate with Java for making the ship look like we're ready for visitors as they requested. And he'll prep to jam emissions.
Yeah, and I guess Brother Nick will respond on comms to this fella and say, apologies, Captain. Of course, we will comply. Just as I said, these are uncertain times.
Indeed, they are. Thank you for your compliance. And he'll add. Um, I'm sure it goes without saying, but just to be clear, none of your crew should have weapons on hand our when our representatives arrive to board your ship, just to ensure there are no misunderstandings.
Of course.
All right, and
Does that
so
does that gun we hid or was mounted
Oh my goodness.
inside?
In the
Does it have
storage
a?
containers?
Yeah.
Yes.
that is a heavy weapon.
Yeah.
I
Ugh,
think it
oh,
was mounted to where it could.
So
Yeah, we could do it in emplacement style, but it's still
yeah,
a heavy weapon.
it had
Yeah,
like a
it was hooked.
tripod.
Yeah, I think it was hooked up inside of the sneaky compartment.
Yeah, we
Um,
left it there, I think.
I don't think it was hooked up. It was in a crate.
Oh, okay, so
Um,
just stored there.
yeah.
Oh, who could we send for that?
In the background, clear away from any cameras that might see her. Nara is she has dressed in her armored vac suit, the one that Boris customized for her, the one that
Mhm.
lets her weapons pop out.
Okay. Nice.
Oh my goodness.
Yep, she's
Okay.
testing the claws, she's testing the lasers. She is making sure everything's charged and ready, and she looks over, an eager glint in her eye.
Um, yeah, I think Brother Nick would look back to her and say, "Good work, Nero. If you could bring that machine gun out from its cubby hole or hidey
Oh,
hole."
Mr. GM, are we
Mhm.
in close enough range that Cade could query if we have enemy of the state designations?
What do you mean?
Like,
You're talking
one of
about
our things to do is to figure out, are we wanted? If we're not wanted personnels, we don't necessarily have to, go all murder on them.
oh, got you. You're saying if you could basically
Yeah.
ping the
Like,
the planet's system or
yes.
whatever their
Are we in
network.
comm range of the planet to ask?
You are in comm range of the planet. I would say that a, t- a transmission you sent to the planet, unless you had some sort of special um, sort of encrypted comms to use, would be pretty easily
Intercepted.
intercepted. Yeah. Um, and it would be
Figured.
even if it did not intercept it. The ships you're dealing with here would definitely be able to pick up that you're transmitting to the planet. May not necessarily be a problem, but um, I'll also just clarify. So, Ethan, you were saying the machine gun?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had the same question that I think you're about to address.
Was it
Okay.
a machine gun?
Well,
I
the
can't remember what it
soldiers.
was.
So
We had
there
some big old
was
spooky gun.
they did have a machine gun when you guys boarded, um, that
Yeah.
added some decoration to the cargo bay. Um, but what I assumed at first that you were referring to was the other weapon that was stashed.
Yeah, we had plasma projectors in there, guys.
Yeah, we do have plasma projectors that I think we've
Believe
moved to the armory, but there was some other gun. I gotta scroll back up through the notes.
um,
And that's what I was meaning. Whatever secret
Okay.
gun we had left stashed down there.
Yeah. I was just going to double check before I went and said this
Oh, that
because,
railgun, yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say I was pretty sure it was a railgun. Um,
Ah.
so like a machine gun, but better. Well, except
Yeah.
that you can't just brace it against your thigh and unleash
Mhm.
it.
An
uh,
even gunnier gun.
yes.
Gunnier gun.
Oh wait,
It's a
no. Okay.
gunnier gun for Gunny.
Yeah. All right. So I misremembered. So heavy machine guns do also have to be mounted or in place to be effective. Um, I I misremembered some of the distinctions there. All right. So yeah. But yeah, you could you get out either. Now, where are you wanting to uh set that up?
Is there a risk of damage to our ship?
I was thinking
Let me think
lining
about
it
that
up
one.
with the airlock doors.
Yeah.
Is that sarcasm I hear?
Can we tell which side they're looking to dock on?
Let's see. Do you want to wait until they start to approach for docking?
Oh,
Yeah,
You'll probably still have enough time to
it'll take a
set up
little
everything.
time, I think, to get it out of the secret cubby. And
Yeah.
Brother Nick has gone to change into his armor and pick
Okay.
up his weapons.
Yeah, for that matter, you could have both the railgun and the heavy machine gun set up if you wanted to. Um, but yeah, what I will say, Dex, is yeah, there is absolutely risk of damaging the ship.
mhm.
Um, especially, I mean, firing to suppress will guarantee damage to the ship. Um, firing it, uh, target firing it is much less likely to damage the ship, but
Okay.
on a miss, there's always a good chance that something could go wrong.
Um, do you know what mechanics that would involve? Is it just like damage to the ship, or like hit point damage to the ship, or is it something else?
Yeah, what I would generally do is hit point damage to the ship.
Okay.
Um, it being your own ship, and I guess since you guys are kind of crewing it, um, might allow. I'll have to consider if I want to allow like a crew crisis or something a ship crisis to be supplemented once for taking ship damage in that fashion.
Is that a risk you want to take, Ethan?
I'm kind of thinking have the railgun set up just as, an ace in the hole kind of thing.
Okay.
If we need to blast a whole bunch of dudes, we've got it lined up and ready. And maybe then it's worth the risk.
All right. So you're
But
thinking
I am
setting.
thinking we can probably just take them with regular Narrow and Brother Nick whacking people. And
Yeah.
Saoirse
Unless
doing
these are like
so.
elite troops, probably.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking? Set them up here so that, or basically in this place, so that I mean, at that point, we probably only need the railgun so that it can fire through either one.
Yeah, just kind of set up in that area.
The other risk that I'm thinking of with setting up either the weapons is if we decide that we don't want to engage them. Like Nero's not going to jump them as soon as they get to, here. Um, she's gonna wait for a kill command and then she's gonna attack. If we've got one of these set up anywhere, they're almost guaranteed to see it and ask more questions.
How long is it to emplace a heavy weapon? Is that just a turn action?
I don't believe it specifies.
Yeah.
I'd say it's gonna take at least a minute. Um,
Hmm. Uh,
I'm kind of leaning towards the my usual assumption for setting up like a some sort of heavy weapon emplacement is that it's aimed at least generally in a direction. It would have some field of view that you could, you know, aim it, but I'm not
Okay.
sure about 360-degree rotation.
I also don't think that's too much of a problem because we should be able to tell them, hey, look, you need to come over to this one. This is, oops, where's my selector pointer? Come over to this one. This is, we've got a whole bunch of stuff at the other one, etc., etc. We should be able to direct them to the airlock of our choosing, right? Does that seem? Am I being unreasonable there?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, asking you on behalf of whoever on the crew might know military boarding stuff. I guess that'd be Saoirse.
Um,
Saoirse
so
and
to
Ahmed.
answer that question, shortly after Brother Nick's exchange with the captain on the other ship and Java's Java and Cade's apparent compliance, um, which Java quietly reminds Cade that you know, he's a little worried if they look closely, they might be able to see through what's going on, but um, he'll do what he can. Um, the one let's see, I guess what would be the term for these things? Let's see, I guess it would be one boarding tube launches from each of the Tabukan frigates.
Wait, so they're gonna be drilling into our ship even though we've agreed to let them on?
The laser drills are optional.
Okay.
Yeah, no, those things would, at least um, my interpretation on those things is they're basically armored, little armored. I want to say puddle jumpers. Don't know why that just popped in my head, but little armored shuttles that have the equipment to basically latch on and create their own entry point if a standard airlock is not available.
Okay, so the boarding tubes can navigate to our airlocks.
Right.
Okay,
And
I
so
got what you're
they
getting.
could use the regular airlocks and if they really wanted to they could even cut through those though. Um if they were going to cut in they would probably not even bother with airlocks.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. All right, so we will have to secure 2 points of ingress. Nero will get the heavy machine gun and the railgun out if you still want those set up, Ethan.
it may be worth just having them out. I guess now I'm worried with the boarding tubes. We don't have the ability to, overpower them and run right onto their ship. So if we take out this boarding
Yeah,
party,
they can undock fast.
mm,
Yeah, but if you do cut communications, um, and we take them out fast enough, well, if you cut communications in a way that the ships don't recognize it, and we take them out fast enough, we can get on one of those boarding tubes and return.
maybe.
Yeah, so if we're stealthy enough, then so you're saying cut it so they can't hear back from the boarding tubes, and
Yeah.
I guess in a way that hopefully isn't too suspicious. So then we could quick take them out, sail the boarding tube back to their ship, and then reverse board them.
Would you like the GM's input on that?
Yes, please.
Only if it's that's all good. It's totally gonna go down that way.
Okay, never mind then. um, what I was just gonna say is that boarding tubes are their typical limitation is that um, they're only used on ships whose engines have been disabled. Um,
Mm,
Now, one obvious uh, other scenario would be if their engines have been willingly shut off. They're sitting there allowing you to board them. Um, but yeah, if you guys were going to go and reverse board them, you would either need to disable the target ship's engines or I don't know, convince them that you're actually the victorious returning boarding party.
Yeah,
mm.
that's kind of what I was thinking. We just or we do something to fake that we're the returning boarding party.
I take it the boarding tubes don't have a return to sender option.
Yeah, and I guess I was kind of thinking along those lines that even if they realized comms were cut, well, I don't know. Maybe I guess unless they're super paranoid, I'd kind of think their own boarding tube returning. Uh, Maybe they wouldn't freak out.
Hmm. So
But yeah, I guess that is leaving some up to chance.
I guess that's another good point to clarify. So the plan is to jam the comms on the two frigates and the boarding tubes, or
I would just like to point out it's 11:43.
Mm,
oh, thank
it
you, good
is.
point. Um, I guess
So maybe we hash out the finer points
yeah, we
in the
could
interim.
continue doing some planning. Which I guess just my quick 2 cents on that. Yeah, I would definitely consider that you know, comms jamming will not go unnoticed, and given the context, would very likely arouse suspicion.
Okay.
Um, so that's worth factoring in. All right, so we'll go ahead and wrap the session there and start doing our post session uh, bookkeeping and such. Everybody can take an XP. I will take care of that for Saoirse and for Java. All right.
Ooh, we get to have a fight.
Dex is geared up and ready to fight. Should say nervous, but yeah,
Yes, we
both.
both are.
Let's see. Oh yeah, we need to do faves. Um, Also, we will need to discuss scheduling at some point. So currently the plan is next Monday, usually scheduled session. Um, the 26th is question mark for me. Hopefully we'll be able to have that figured out by the 19th, our next session. Um, but everyone else, I guess I'll post something I guess I can go ahead and post something just asking everybody about their availability on the 26th, because it may be that the point is moot and we won't be able to have the session anyway. I don't know. But yeah, so we'll figure that out.
Yeah, I won't be available
I was
for
gonna say,
3-ish weeks.
I feel like we should just try and schedule for the beginning of the year, even though I do want that fight.
You're saying skip the next 2 weeks?
I mean, the 19th is good, but it's also the day before my parents get into town. So
Hmm.
I might be a
Sounds
little crazy.
sounds like
Um,
I need to discuss with my wife what we are doing for whether or not we are actually available on the 19th.
sorry guys.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right. So we'll sort that out soon after.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So, babes. I Oh boy, I'm torn. I also wasn't super prepared for this. Uh, I think I
You
think I'll say
you're literally the DM who makes us pick faves every session. How are you not
I
prepared for this?
there was a lot going on in
That's
my
fair.
defense.
Mhm.
I say in a somewhat petulant and defensive tone.
Glad you said it.
Um, uh, I'll just say Nero's attempt at coffee. Which, that gave way to quite a lot of fun role play. So yeah, that takes it for me. Danielle, what about you?
Saoirse's one-liner about not being able to trust intelligent women. Also, the opportunity for Nero to get a fight.
Woo!
Let's see. Oh, excuse me. All right,
Seconded.
I think I got all that. Dex, what about you?
The unanimous uh-oh at the announcement of Nero making coffee.
Excuse me, guys.
Yeah. Good night, Danielle.
Oh no, sorry. I
Oh, I thought you were leaving.
no. My stomach's not feeling good and I burped and I didn't know if y'all had heard it or not. So I just went ahead and apologized.
Oh, I didn't hear it, but now I know
What?
you did it.
Now the whole world knows you did.
It's alright.
Well,
All
don't make it
two of
Immortalized
our
weird,
on the internet.
guys.
Mhm. 100 years from now, your great great grandchildren will discover this archive.
Oh my. God help them.
Oh, Ben, I was seconding your I'm tired.
Oh, That makes sense. Sorry,
Yeah.
I was being cheeky.
Yeah, you
Let's
are that.
see. Ethan, what about you?
Saoirse and Narrows thought that Brother Nick steams broccoli as part of his religion.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know why I guess I had imagined it just like exactly like that, in the pot, instead of in a like the little incense burner. But then when you posted that picture of like the priest waving the censer that's shedding smoke, and it's imagining that being like a little
Just
steamer with
full of
broccoli
broccoli.
in it.
Oh.
It's just amazing. Like just waving the broccoli steam everywhere. Uh,
So that the parishioners can know suffering.
I was gonna say that is definitely going to feature in some religion somewhere in the sector now.
Oh, great.
Maybe not broccoli specifically, but that's inspiration right there.
Asparagus.
Oh man.
There's
Only an evil group would do that.
That
if they're
it
vegan Catholics, that might be it.
uh, to say, or maybe that's the penance for certain crimes, is you have to walk around with an asparagus sensor around your neck for a day or
Well,
something. Uh, all right,
Um,
Robert.
my fave is probably split between coffee and advancing outwards from uh Eriscore Coupiets.
Nice.
Forward the plot.
Yeah, I will say I definitely enjoyed how much got accomplished in tonight's session. Kind of hitting some high points, some planned info gathering, and then getting back to good old Tabuk. And I too am quite eager to see what happens next session. But with that, I think I've got everything there. We can go ahead and call it a session, and we will be. I'll just remind everybody to be paying attention to the scheduling channel and to see what we're doing for our next few weeks, and also just be thinking about the game plan for the boarding.
Alrighty.
Mm.
Gonna go ahead and end the stream.
All right, night, everybody.